Please take your seats. The 2021 RMIT graduation ceremony is about to commence.
You're broken down and tired from living life on a merry-go-round,
and you can find that fighter, but it's in you, so we gon' walk it out.
Over mountains, we gon' walk it out.
And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. Though you feel like dying, but I promise we'll keep the world to its feet. And
Mountains, bring it to his feet.
rise up, high like the wave. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times For that we have each other. For that we have each other. We will rise. We will rise. We will rise. We will rise. I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the hate. I will rise.
a sky, you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart.
Cause you're a sky, cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path. Light up the path.
I don't care, go on and tear me apart.
Oh, I don't care if you do. Oh,
Cause in the sky, cause in the sky full of stars. I think I saw you.
I think I saw you. I think I saw
I think I saw you. I think I saw
Cause you're a sky, cause you're a sky full of stars. Ooh, I'm gonna die in your arms. Ooh,
Cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart. Give you my heart.
I don't care. Go on and tear me apart. No, I don't care if you do.
Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you.
I think I saw you.
Please welcome the main stage procession to the arena.
Such a heavenly view. Such a heavenly view.
Cause you're a sky full of stars.
Such a heavenly view.
Such a heavenly view. Yeah, 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 yeah. Such a heavenly view. Such a heavenly, such a heavenly, such a heavenly view. Such a heavenly, such a heavenly, such a heavenly view. Such a heavenly, such a heavenly, such a heavenly view. Such a heavenly, such a heavenly, such a heavenly view. Such a heavenly, such a heavenly, such a heavenly view. Such a heavenly, such a heavenly, such a heavenly view. Such a heavenly, such a heavenly, such a heavenly view.
RMIT opened its doors in Melbourne 134 years ago with a promise to be a place of practical education to prepare workers for the jobs of the time. Since our earliest days, we've adapted to changing times, always in the service of our communities who rely on us. Today, we are a global university of technology, design and enterprise. We work hand in hand with industry and the employers our graduates aspire to join. Our research is renowned, and we are committed as ever to preparing our students for the real world of life and work. This year, at campuses around the world and online, over 96,000 students chose to study at RMIT. Our students and staff come from every corner of the globe, and we are a strong, culturally diverse community. Because at RMIT we focus on giving everyone the chance to be their best, create their future and belong. And that's why, when we look ahead, we're excited about the possibilities. Today, our graduands and graduates are from 50 countries around the world. Let's give a round of applause as their flags are displayed in front of you.
Had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the cloud. Oh, 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 oh. I reached my hands up to the sky, we danced with monsters through the night. Oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back, oh, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of your life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Woo! Come on! I howled at the moon with friends, and then the sun came crashing in. Oh, 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 oh. But all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. No, I'm never gonna give it up. No, just don't wake me now. Come on! This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. RMIT! Come on! We know this one. Come on, let's take this stadium down. It's graduation. We will rock you. Oh yeah, come on, sing it. We will rock you. Buddy, you're a young man, hard man, shouting in the street. Gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, waving your banners all over the place. Sing it! We will rock you. Oh, I like that, come on! We will rock you. Everybody, we will rock you. We will rock you. Come on! Where's all my people out of here? Tonight, I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive, and the world turning inside out. I'm having a really good time. Let's do it! I'm having a good time, having a good time. I'm a superstar racing to the sky, like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car, crashing by, like Lady Godiva. I wanna go, 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 there's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees is what they call me, Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm driving at that speed of light. Wanna make a supersonic man out of you, me? Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time, don't wanna stop at all. I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars, on a collision course, high as a satellite. I'm out of control, I'm a hex machine ready to reload. I can out of road, I'm gonna go, 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 oh, explode. Burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's what they call me, Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm driving at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic woman of you. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, come on! Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like it, come on! Don't stop me. Good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Come on! Oh, yeah. Burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Traveling at the speed of light, I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, I really am, I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, give me a call. Don't stop me now. I'm having a good time. Don't stop me now. Yes, I'm having a good time. Don't wanna stop at all. RMIT, I wanna see you up. I wanna see you dancing. Let's make a party out of this thing. Come on. My man Gerald. Yeah. I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying on no ceiling when we in our zone. Sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. I can't take my eyes above it, moving so phenomenally. Unlike the way we rock it, so don't stop. Under the lights, when everything goes. Let's get some noise happening here. High when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. How's it going? So just imagine. Come on! Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Good, good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on! All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. Ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dance, dance, dance. Come on! So just dance, dance, dance. 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 So keep you when you dance, dance, dance. Good, good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance. dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, 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 dance. Ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. Got this feeling with your body. Got this feeling in my body. Come on! Got this feeling in my body. Let's go! Got this feeling in my body. Thank you, RMIT! Happy graduation! Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. Sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. Got that hot blood in my body when it drops. I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, rock the way we rock it, so don't stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well you already know. So just imagine.
Please welcome to the stage award-winning Gamilroy singer-songwriter Thelma Plum.
It's coming round again, it's slowly creeping in. Of time and it's coming. Soon enough it comes, settles in its place. Shadow in my face, puts pressure on my brain. This life, well it's slipping right through my hands. These days turned out nothing like I had planned. Control, well it's slipping right through my hands. These days turned out nothing like I had planned. It's coming round again, slowly creeping in. Of time and its command. Soon enough it comes, settles in its place. Shadow in my face, pressure on my brain. Soon enough it comes, here it is again. Slowly creeping in, of time and its command. Soon enough it comes, settles in its place. Shadow in my face, undignified and lying. This life, well it's slipping right through my hands. These days turned out nothing like I had planned. Control, well it's slipping right through my hands. These days turned out nothing like I had planned. This life, well it's slipping right through my hands. These days
Thank you very much. Happy graduation, by the way. You all look very beautiful. Okay, this song's called Better in Black. Do you know what it feels like to get calls in the middle of the night saying you're not worth it, you deserve it, go on, have another drink? Do you know what it feels like to get stuck in the middle of a fight screaming you're not worth it, you deserve it, go on, have another drink? But if I just keep quiet, I'll be the one who's lying too. Why should I keep hiding, always crying? Tell me, what did I do? You took the color from me, darling, I'll get it back. You took the color from me, but boy, you look better in black. If I know what I know now, maybe I'll take it back, but fuck that. Oh, you look better in black. Do you know what it feels like to be told that you were never right? If I had a lighter skin, maybe I would win. Does it make you wanna think? Do you know what it feels like? 'Cause I know what it feels like. If I had a lighter skin, maybe I would win. Does it make you wanna think? But if I just keep quiet, I'll be the one who's lying too. Why should I keep hiding, always crying? Tell me, what did I do? You took the color from me, darling, I'll get it back. You took the color from me, but boy, you look better in black. If I know what I know now, maybe I'll take it back, but fuck that. Oh, you look better in black. Oh, you look better in black. Oh, you look better in black. If I know what I know now, maybe I will take it back, but fuck that. Oh, you look better in black. Thank you so much. Happy graduation again.
Acting Chancellor, Interim Vice-Chancellor and President, the Honourable Julia Gillard, AC, who will join us soon via live stream, members of RMIT Council, incoming Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Alec Cameron, honoured guests, staff, graduands, family and friends. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the RMIT University 2021 graduation ceremony for Victoria. It's so good to see you here in person today, after all of the challenges of the last couple of years, just to see all of those happy faces to celebrate a milestone for all of you. I'm Sherman Young, your Deputy Vice-Chancellor Education and your MC for today's ceremony. I want to begin by thanking those extraordinary dancers and that really moving performance from Thelma Plum and that incredibly moving performance from Uncle Ron Murray. Can we have another round of applause? I'm very proud and privileged to stand on the ancestral lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations. On behalf of the university, I'd like to personally acknowledge the people of the Wurrung and Boonwurrung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nations on whose unceded land we conduct the business of our university. We respectfully acknowledge their ancestors and elders, past, present and emerging. We also acknowledge the traditional custodians and their ancestors of the lands and waters across Australia where we conduct our business. It's now my great pleasure to introduce Karina Chavez to sing the national anthem. Can everybody please stand as Karina sings the national anthem?
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is goodbye sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strength, and let us sing. Advance Australia fair. Thank you.
Please take your seats. Thank you, Karina, for an inspiring rendition. Really appreciate it. And whilst this day is all about our graduates, we've begun with the most amazing entertainment, and I'm delighted to confirm the worst kept secret at RMIT, and that is that we have a special performance by Peking Duck after the formal ceremony concludes. So stay firmly in your seats, and when the last of the presentations have taken place, join us for what I know will be an amazing RMIT experience. It's now my great pleasure to introduce RMIT's Interim Vice-Chancellor and President, Ms. Dione Higgins.
Acting Chancellor, the Honourable Julia Gillard AC, members of RMIT Council, incoming Vice-Chancellor, Professor Alec Cameron, and to all of our guests and graduates here today, welcome. Graduates, while you may be divided by the timing of when you completed your studies, you are utterly united by your fierce determination to make it through. So what a momentous occasion this is, and how symbolic to have you together. When I look out at this stadium full of bright faces and feel the energy around us, I can once again see the world as we want it to be. I see diversity, I see connection, and I see community. The path of higher education has always been proud, bold, and much sought after. So the hard work you've invested to get to this point puts you in extraordinary company already. You join great minds who had to fight for their right to learn. You join great innovators who had to convince the system that they were worth the gamble. And you join great thinkers who were misunderstood in their time, but changed the world in ours. The path of higher education is paved with greatness, with determination, and with wonder. Arguably, never more so than today, because in the most extraordinary context, you achieved. Despite all the obstacles in your way, you made it. You climbed the mountain, you reached the peak. So I have no doubt that if the tables were turned, you could all give me some words of wisdom. But that tradition rests with me this time. So I'll share a few thoughts before we begin the formalities. In recent weeks, I've been reflecting on what, in addition to an RMIT education of course, makes for a career to be proud of and a life well lived. Now, if you were listening closely, you will have noticed that I am RMIT's Interim Vice-Chancellor. So that means I've had the great privilege of keeping the wonderful ship that is RMIT on course in between the departure of one great leader, Professor Martin Bean, and the arrival of another, Professor Alec Cameron, who is with us today. Keep this in mind as I share 3 pieces of advice. First, seek opportunity. Taking chances is something some do naturally. If you're a person who waits for a nudge, try taking the gamble instead. Because one thing I can tell you for certain is that life goes faster than you expect it will. I've always found that my greatest moments of growth have come from the setbacks and the times I've been pushed right out of my comfort zone. So don't be afraid of failure, and try to see feedback that the gift that it is. Seize your challenges, and if you overreach sometimes, pick yourself up and try again. Second, share the spotlight. When you eventually make your mark in your chosen field, you won't do it alone. So never act like you have. Lift others up, celebrate every contribution to your own success, and recognise the success of others with unflinching generosity. Not only is this absolutely critical to your own personal development, it is what people notice and what keeps the cycle of collaboration alive. Third, contribute. Not everyone has philanthropy in their bones, and that's okay. But everyone who has had the benefit of an education and the smarts to do something with it has an obligation. You're not here today because of just luck. You're here because you worked incredibly hard. In fact, you worked incredibly hard through a couple of the toughest years we will ever experience. And the world is going to need people like you. Resilient global citizens with the skills and attitude to generate change, to create impact, and to lead the massive journey of recovery ahead. I ask that you play your part, whatever that may be. This country is full of wonderful stories, yours included. And one of my favourites is the recipient of today's honorary doctorate and a most inspiring woman, Julia Gillard. At the start of her book, My Story, she reflects on her first day in office as Prime Minister and the fact that there was no running sheet for what would happen next. So my final thought is this: there is no running sheet for what will happen next. But what I do know is that you have thrived through some of the most extraordinary days in our history. No one is better equipped to write what comes next than the people in this stadium. And I look forward to the stories you'll tell. So with this being my last official speech as Interim Vice-Chancellor, I want to finish by passing the baton to our incoming Vice-Chancellor, Professor Alec Cameron. We're so looking forward to you taking the helm early next year and being part of our wonderful RMIT community. Thank you and congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Interim Vice-Chancellor, for those wonderful words. Every year, universities award honorary degrees to individuals who've made an outstanding contribution to the wider community. I now invite Professor Tim Marshall, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Design and Social Context and Vice President, to introduce our honorary doctorate recipient for 2021.
Acting Chancellor, it is my pleasure and privilege to present to you Ms. Julia Gillard AC, whom Council has admitted to the Doctor of Law honoris causa. Education, gender equality and inclusion for all. Julia Gillard AC has championed these causes at every stage of her career. In recognition of her outstanding achievements in public service, she was awarded a Companion of the Order of Australia in 2017. Born of a belief from a young age that men and women should be treated equally and a desire to address the evident inequalities around her, Ms. Gillard became determined to create impact in areas she truly cares about. Through her passion, fierce determination and resolute commitment to get things done, she's become a global leader and role model for girls and women of all ages. Since graduating from the University of Melbourne in 1986 with degrees in law and arts, she has fought for the importance of education and equitable access. First as a student activist protesting education funding cuts, then as a lawyer and political advisor. She then took on the role of Chief of Staff to the opposition leader of the state of Victoria. Her motivation to make an impact through public policy led to a career in federal politics. She was Minister of Education, Employment and Workplace Relations and Social Inclusion. Then in 2010, she made history when she became Australia's first female Prime Minister. She is also the only female Prime Minister Australia has ever had. Ms. Gillard served as Prime Minister until 2013 and delivered nation-changing policies. She reformed Australia's education at every level, from early childhood to university education, improved the provision and sustainability of healthcare, aged care and dental care, and commenced Australia's first national scheme to care for people with disabilities. As Prime Minister, and in her previous role as Deputy Prime Minister, she was pivotal in navigating Australia through the global financial crisis and the opportunities available to Australia through Asia's rise. Her global foresight was also evidenced by her work to strengthen Australia's international relations with the United States, China, India, Japan, Indonesia, and South Korea. In October 2012, she received worldwide attention for her speech in Parliament on the treatment of women in professional and public life. The now iconic speech has served as a rally cry for women, not only in politics, but in leadership positions across all sectors. Today, following a distinguished career in public service, Ms. Gillard continues to create impact in local, national and international communities and shares what she has learned from her experience. She is the former chair of Global Partnership for Education, patron of CamFed, the Campaign for Female Education, chair of Beyond Blue, Australia's leading mental health awareness body, inaugural chair of the pioneering Global Institute for Women's Leadership at King's College London, and the Australian National University, and chair of the Wellcome Trust, one of the key global funding bodies for health research and innovation. Ms. Gillard is the author of 2 books. The first, My Story, 2014, provides a detailed account of her time as Prime Minister and was shortlisted for the 2015 Biography of the Year Award. Her second book, Women in Leadership, Real Lives, Real Lessons, 2020, co-authored with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, shares evidence, insight and practical advice for women thinking about their own contributions to leadership. Ms. Gillard's unwavering commitment to inclusion, well-being, practical innovation and the value of hard work has changed Australian political history and earned her an international reputation as a respected figure in the many different fields to which she contributes. Acting Chancellor, I present to you Ms. Julia Gillard.
Thank you, Professor Marshall, for that warm introduction. Let me first acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which you meet and pay my respects to elders past and present. I also want to acknowledge Ms. Janet Blatchford, Acting Chancellor, RMIT Council, Ms. Higgins, Interim Vice-Chancellor and President, thank you for such a lovely speech. Professor Alec Cameron, Incoming Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Tim Marshall, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Design and Social Context and Vice President. Thank you for presenting me with this honorary doctorate, and thanks also to the Council of RMIT for bestowing this honour upon me. I'm truly disappointed I cannot be with you in person. Having represented Melbourne's Industrial West as the Federal MP for Lalor for 15 years and having lived in Victoria for 30 years, I feel a real sense of connection to RMIT. It would have been wonderful to be among you. Instead, I am currently in home quarantine after returning to Australia from a spell overseas, where I was working with the Global Partnership for Education, the Global Institute for Women's Leadership, and beginning my term as chair of the Wellcome Trust. Thankfully, I can join you virtually and I am delighted to be part of the proceedings, but the real focus should be on all the students graduating today. To each of you, my very warm congratulations. Successfully finishing a course of study is always a milestone that deserves a celebration. I certainly remember feeling a moment of pure joy when I walked out of my final 3.5-hour law exam. But that is doubly true now, given how hard the last couple of years have been for everyone. I know you as students will have found the pandemic disruption and the loss of campus contact especially difficult. You will have had to summon even more perseverance and resilience to get through, but you've made it, and today is your day. It is about recognising your achievement and taking a moment to reflect on your hard work and success. You will not have walked this pathway alone. Today is also a day to acknowledge your friends, family and colleagues and share your excitement with them. I expect you may have lent on them a little more and yet perhaps seen some of them a little less in person during your degrees. Now is the time to thank them for their support and recognise their part in your achievement. Today is about celebrating individual achievement, but it is also about us collectively celebrating the transformative power of education, which is the foundation for building a life of empowerment and choice. I have understood this from my earliest days. Like many parents, especially those who brought their children to Australia for a different life, mine encouraged me to learn, and they were right behind me as I explored opportunities they never had, like when I went on to study law and arts at university. It was that sense that education mattered and it was the right of every child that sparked my early political activism and sustained me throughout my political career. It shaped my work as Minister for Education and Prime Minister of Australia. My focus in these roles was on how to increase access to quality education for everyone and reforming Australia's education system at all levels. Since leaving the Federal Parliament, it has continued to shape the work I have done internationally as patron of the Campaign for Female Education and the chair of the Global Partnership for Education. I've had the privilege of visiting some of the poorest parts of the world and witnessing firsthand the positive change education brings. I have seen how the lives of children, especially girls and young women, can open up when they get the chance to go to school and learn, and how they become emboldened to make choices for themselves and for their futures. What is even more exciting is that this change doesn't just change one life, it has the potential to change whole communities. That is also true for you today, graduates. Today, you will change how others see you and how you see yourself. It will empower you to make a difference in the world. For me, witnessing the transformative power of education underscores the need for robust education institutions that are committed to remaining relevant and adapting as the world changes. The Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology is an exemplar of that kind of innovative approach. It has evolved from a working men's college in the late 19th century to a centre for arts, design and technology, to a university of technology with global presence today. You will always be proud that RMIT is the institution which awarded your degree, and I am proud to have been awarded an honorary doctorate today. I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gillard. Your ongoing contribution to education, gender equality and inclusion inspires all of us. On behalf of RMIT, thank you. We're honoured to have you join our community as an RMIT graduate, and we look forward to seeing you on campus as part of that community soon. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Please join me in welcoming the Acting Chancellor of RMIT University, Ms. Janet Latchford, and Academic Registrar, Ms. Connie Molino, who will take us through the certification of awards.
Hello everyone. I am delighted to join in the celebrations today to recognise our extraordinary class of 2020 and 2021 graduates. Graduation represents the culmination of much hard work, and for those in this stadium today, I'd say it's true many times over. This remarkable group has navigated through the most challenging of times. You have proven that you are resilient, adaptable to change, and have the passion and tenacity to succeed and to make a real difference in the world. All of those years of hard work, studying long hours, waiting on results, and now you've made it. Well done on an outstanding achievement. Today, as we celebrate the end of one chapter, another opens. So it's now time to recognise you and your success. I will present your names to our Acting Chancellor, who will then certify your award, and you'll join RMIT's global alumni community for the rest of your careers. So graduates, can I please ask you to now stand? Acting Chancellor, I certify to you that the candidates presented here today have fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to the named awards of the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology and are entitled to be admitted to the rights and privileges of these awards.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of RMIT University, I admit the duly authorised candidates on this list to the appropriate award of RMIT University and to all the rights and privileges of graduation. Congratulations, everyone.
Well done, graduates. You should feel incredibly proud of everything you have achieved. Celebrate this moment and remember you are part of the RMIT Global Community for Life. Please be seated.
It's an honour to be standing here as the proud Acting Chancellor of this iconic institution we all love. It's my pleasure to congratulate you on this milestone moment in your lives. Today, because of your hard work and dedication, you've earned the right to stand shoulder to shoulder with a pretty spectacular alumni community that reaches right around the world. So first, let me say thank you for choosing to pursue your education with RMIT. I know there are many options and pathways, which is why your trust in us means so much. Likewise, the fact that you're here in the stadium tells me that you understand, as I do, the power of community, and that you share our desire to celebrate all that you have already achieved together and all that is to come. There is something special about RMIT, and there always has been. It's what attracted me to it in the first place, and I suspect many of you in the stadium would say the same. It's a university of global scale and significance, but it's also firmly grounded in our lineage as a place of applied and practical learning. Because at RMIT we breathe and live our commitment to prepare our students for life and work in a world now changing even more rapidly than before. And we continue to do that with terrific confidence because we don't operate in isolation. We co-create our education with experts and insiders from the industries our graduates join and the communities we serve. But right now, it's time to look up and out. May your lives and careers take off in many wonderful ways. So congratulations once again.
The presentation of graduates will now take place at each college stage around the stadium. I'd like to ask graduates, friends and family to please stay in your seats. We have thousands of you here, and it's important to give everyone, from the first to the last, the respect they deserve for their big moment. I want to hear the same applause for the last graduate as for the first. And once that last graduate is presented, there'll be plenty of time to celebrate together and enjoy the performance of Peking Duck. I now introduce the schools on each presentation stage whose graduates are being recognised today. Now, I haven't got a really good picture of the layout of the stadium, so the only way I'm going to know where your stage is for you to make some noise, okay? So as I make my way around those stages, please put your hands together, give us a little holler, and tell us who you are. On stage A, the main stage, we have our doctoral graduates to be presented by our RMIT Acting Chancellor. Yeah, not bad. On stages B and C, the College of Vocational Education and the Graduate School of Business and Law. I can barely hear you. On stage D, the School of Management. Yeah, that's getting there. On stages E and F, the School of Accounting and School of Economics, Finance and Marketing. Oh, that's sounding like a cheer now, isn't it? That's getting there. On stage G, the School of Business IT and Logistics. I think you're getting the hang of it. On stages H, J and K, the School of Engineering. Okay, the engineers have thrown down the gauntlet. On stages L, oh, they're still going. Okay, that's a challenge. Who's going to rise to that? On stages L, M, N, P and Q, the School of Science and the School of Health and Biomedical Sciences. I'm learning to let it go. Okay, so this one is my own discipline. On stage R, the School of Media and Communication. And on stage S, the School of Art and the School of Architecture and Urban Design. Yeah, okay. On stage T, the School of Education and the School of Fashion and Textiles. On stages U and V, the School of Design and the School of Global, Urban and Social Studies. That's a good cheer. And last but not least, on stage W, the School of Property Construction and Project Management and the School of Economics, Finance and Marketing. Well, that was fantastic. It was like a Mexican wave at the G, just a bit slower. But just a reminder, out of courtesy, we request that everyone remain seated. Graduates, family and friends, let the official presentations begin.
Please take your seats. Proceedings are about to recommence.
Thank you all, and congratulations to all of our graduates. But graduating is never a solo journey. There's two groups of people that have been alongside all of the graduates throughout their journey at RMIT. The first, your family and friends, who have provided support and really helped you through everything that you've had to achieve during your time at university. And the second, academic, teaching and support staff at RMIT, who have guided, facilitated your learning and been there through every step of your learning journey. So I know you've just applauded, but can we applaud again, one more time, for all of those people who have helped you along the way. It's been an absolute privilege to share this day with all of you. I don't think any graduation ceremony before this, or any to come, will ever quite have that very special meaning of today. It's an amazing achievement to graduate at the best of times, to graduate during a global pandemic when the whole world has been grappling with lockdowns, isolation, learning and working remotely is nothing short of astounding. Graduates, on top of your undoubted ability, you've all demonstrated agility, adaptability, resilience, and a desire to succeed, to complete your study no matter the challenges. And all of those attributes will hold you in good stead right throughout your life and career. You've proven that nothing will hold you back, and we so look forward to hearing the next chapter in all of your stories. Congratulations again, and enjoy the remainder of the afternoon's entertainment. Thank you.
Congratulations, RMIT! Make your way to the